Oh, of course. But you have a uniqueness, which is cool, because like in checking out your work and all that, it's like you have that vibe of one direction and direction, which I feel like it's probably been your whole entire life, because you have like several different things we keep talking about that are like all opposed to each other. I feel like you're at war with yourself.
I mean, for a long time, 100%. But not until I finally was kind of like, just live it, just live it and ride this weird wave. But that's it's helped me a lot, because like obviously there's so many comics, so many people everywhere, and I'm not like, I didn't like, it wasn't like the intent of like, oh, let me do this to kind of stand out, which is like, oh, I'm just being who I am finally. And at first it was kind of daunting, because I was like, oh, what if I get rejected from like both sides kind of deal? Like, what if like I'm not? But it turns out like, it turns out like people from both ends seem to like really like what I do.
Well, I mean, how would you describe yourself if you were kind of, because I'm thinking in my brain different ways of saying it, but like, what do you think? I mean, you kind of have that metal.
It's like obviously I'm like a blue collar dude, metalhead, but then also like has a different experience of like with being gay and all that stuff that comes with it. So like, I never feel like, I always feel like I didn't fit in, in the gay community or like, around blue collar work or sports. But like, I'll tell you what, the metal community is pretty accepting.
Oh yeah,
it's more so than I think people give it credit for, and more so than a lot of other places.
Well, metal is so, I feel like, in any kind of community does out there crazy shit, they accept like.
Yeah.
Like the tattoo community, when I was a child, when being gay was still like, oh my God, he's gay. Like, there were openly gay people in the tattoo community, and nobody cared.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. And there were literally people that were like Nazis in the tattoo community, and they were okay with the gay people too, because everyone was like, we're all with tattoos, we're kind of crazy.
Yep.
So I could see like metal people being like, that's it?
Yeah.
Gay? Like,
Do you just like cool music? Then that's all that matters.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
My thing too is like, I found there's been like, with dealing with that aspect of it, like obviously because I stand out, because like in the comedy world, I feel like a lot of like other gay comics like that, it's like they're very similar. It's very like show tunesy and like, oh, this is a theatrical production and everyone's got a background in show tunes and all this stuff.
Stereotype of what a gay comic is.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it's funny that I get like people mention Larry the Cable Guy to me, but I'm like, well, I feel like a lot of the gay comics are doing like a Larry the Cable Guy-esque routine. They're just like heightening the gay aspect instead of heightening the redneck aspect, and they're really like putting a show on for it. And I was like, I don't, it's not me, because people ask me like, oh, what's your background? I'm like, I don't know, truck driving?
Yeah. That's funny.
Not theater.
That's so funny. Yeah, but you know what? I feel like that's the one thing about the world that I think is so fucking crazy, is the amount of like stereotyping and people that don't live up to it aren't considered like, like I have a black friend and he's black. You know what I mean? Like, give me a laugh. Shut the I mean, like,
but you said it like he's your only black
No,
friend.
like no, okay, whatever.
I don't know, I shouldn't be here. I'm
Sons of bitches.
You're doing such a great job, man.
I got a friend Mike, okay, and he's black. He's a Republican. He's like a hardcore Trump supporting. Like, he calls himself the chocolate Republican. So people are always just like, you're not, like, that's not, you can't do that. Like, you're not allowed to do that. You have to, like, what do you mean? Like, he's not really black now because of that? Like, it's so crazy. Like, so people are funny about how if you don't live up to the stereotype of, oh, you're gay, so you have to be whatever it is now. You know, that show tune style of, oh, that's it. That's,
Well, too, that's what people are, like, it's funny because, like, people are like, oh, why is it like a big deal? So I'm like, well, because like people are still, like, I know it is because people are still surprised when I say it, or in my act, they still go after me like, is that true? Like, if people weren't surprised anymore, then if people are being still surprised, that's how I know, like, this stereotype is still there, and that's the most like prevalent part of it. Is because otherwise people wouldn't be so shocked when they find out about me.
Yeah, well, people like things in a nice buttoned-up package.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They like to go, oh, you're gay, so you
like this,
that. You wear this, you do that. You're just like every other gay.
Yeah.
And then when you're like,
and that drives me insane.
Pickup trucks and fucking listening to.
My friends always joked I'm the least gay out of all of them, and they're married with kids.
And that's always the weird. of unfair too, though, to be like, oh, you're not really that.
I mean, I call my straight friends gay all the time.
Yeah, that's fucking.
Like, if they say something, I'm just like, this is the gayest thing I've heard today, and I've heard some gay shit.
I've had dicks in my mouth.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. I think it's cool to just break down any kind of like what you're supposed to do, what you're not.
But that was cool too, because like, I had a lot of people like hit me up on Instagram who are like kind of in from a similar like in a similar situation or feel the same way as me, and they think it's cool there's someone out there showing that it's not all fucking rainbows and unicorns.
No, you know what?